Did G-Unit invent artists on mixtapes, on their own mixtapes first?
I feel like there was always mixtapes, but
artists
we took songs,
right.
and we flipped them and we bounced them. And at the time when G-Unit dropped, it was so funny because a lot of artists wanted to beat up the bootlegger,
right?
But 50 looked at the bootlegger as his friend. Right. So one of our homies be like, "Yo, our mixtape is over there. We go to Jamaica Avenue. Right. We go to these spots. You know, we came out of Shy Money basement.
Right.
We was recording there. Right. And basically, we'll make the mixtapes, but it was all 50's idea. 50 be like, "Yo, we just gonna keep flooding them. So nobody was consistent with the mixtapes as we was. Mm-hmm. We was everywhere.
Is that the reason why y'all was rhyming on other people's music?
I mean, we was just having fun. Like when we did LL shit over, we did fucking Snoop shit over. We just was having fun. You know what I mean? 50 was just, he was an animal from the Columbia days anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I've been around him since, you know, Columbia days and shit. And, you know, then from there, fast forward, seeing you in Chris Lighty's office and Violator, all that shit, it was all an experience for me. Like I've been, like for instance, I've been in Miami for 3 days now. I was in a party, Lorenz Tater's in there. Right. Well, I'm thinking, you know, I'm a nigga from the hood. That's Old Dog, my nigga.
Dog.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the party with Old Dog now. You know what I'm saying?
Did you call him Old Dog?
Yeah, Murder called him Old Dog. I called him Senator Tate. You know what I mean? Because I'm loving power. I called him Senator Tate, but I'm in the room with Old Dog. You got Meech in there. You got Tommy from Power. Right. So to be in the rooms with these people, sometimes people think it's all about the money and the bitches and the cars, but it's all about the experience in the rooms you could be in. So if I'm with a nigga like you or 50 or anybody, a P. Diddy or Jay, whoever it is, you in a room, you getting the opportunity to, you know, I done been in rooms with Chris Tucker, Wesley Snipes. I'm thinking about New Jack City and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Jim Carrey. I done met everybody.
Jim Carrey, I seen that.
That was like crazy. Imagine you being a party, Jim Carrey, the Kardashians in there, Mike Tyson.
Right.
Just to meet these people, you know what I mean?
Put the forward back a little bit. Tell Jimmy to pop one of these for me. Okay. But do you think, if you had to bet and say that the artist who made the first artist mixtape, friendly mixtape, would you bet on G-Unit?
Yeah, I would say it was G-Unit.
Okay, let's make it.
Just definitely. Because you gotta remember,
you guys flipped them
because you gotta remember, for New York artists, you know, after a time, the down south.
That's why we fired you. No.
With your booby trap shirt on.
We don't want a bottle boy. We don't want a bottle boy.
How much booby trap paid you to wear that shirt?
Yo, he's trying to take your shine and pop the bottle. We fired him a long time ago. We don't want a bottle boy. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Nah, but you gotta understand, when we dropped the mixtapes, it was going to other markets. Like we was playing in North Carolina, South Carolina. We was playing in a lot of New York.
Like you said, at one point, people were running away from the mixtapes, but you guys, it felt like you guys was using this as marketing tools towards the album and towards that. Was that like strategic?
And radio started playing these records like if they were straight up singles.
I mean, after 50 got shot, he was hungry, bro.
Right.
You know, he was riding around in a minivan, you know, with the Mac on him, bulletproof vest. And I think that any other nigga would have gave up. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always give him his props. I'm like, yo, nah, the nigga really came back. You know, he's running around with crazy niggas like E Money.
Yeah, that's right, that's my man.
You know what I mean? Rest in peace to E Money Bags. Like, you know, at the time of me coming up, seeing niggas like, I would be in the studio going to Sony with Fifth, and I'll run into, you know, you'll see fucking Tut, fucking Scooter and these niggas. So Haitian Jack, niggas like that was running around, and niggas like had a headlock on the game. So niggas don't know about the Columbia days.
Yeah, I was one of the first people to do a record with 50. I did not one record, I did 2 records.
He said that.
You know what I'm saying? I did 2 records.
He was the first nigga to fuck with 50. You know what I'm saying?
For real. But hold on, let's get back to that. So, I want to say, in my opinion, I think y'all was the first guys touring off of actual mixtapes.
Yeah, we had the mixtape tour.
Right, because I remember Chris telling me, like, y'all going on tour. I'm like, how the fuck they going on tour? They don't got an album. And they like, so was that actual?
We had the mixtapes was buzzing on radio. They was buzzing everywhere, and we started getting booked. And the mixtape tour, we had the buses, and now we had Chris Lighty, rest in peace to Chris Lighty, the legend. You know,
legend, hell yeah.
He was down with Chris Lighty. That's why I always like that Nas song, Blue Benz, when he say Chris Lighty let him in with the, you know what? That, you know, I love that song.
Yeah.
But we was on the road.
Right.
You know, we had Chris Lighty at that point, so things started, you know, he was like kind of like the glue with 50 Cent, like started teaching 50 the business side, you know, and you know who was in there? James Cruz.
I was just about to ask, because it's, go ahead, let me let you finish.
No, go ahead.
I want the fans to go crazy.
Go ahead.
Okay, but it always seems funny with James Cruz when it comes to James Cruz and 50.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you see?
I mean, I just feel like James Cruz, he's always was a cool guy, was always there. But 50, I felt like 50 had a little more respect for Chris. But James Cruz put in the work too.
Right.
But when Chris sent James Cruz out, you know, him and 50 always get into it.
Right.
50 always say some crazy shit. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
James would say some nice shit.
I remember 50 said something crazy to James Cruz one day, and we at Interscope, and he lit a cigarette in the Interscope building. Like, yo, I don't want to say what he called them, but it's like, motherfucker screamed at me in the meme. I'm crazy, yo. He lit a cigarette in Interscope building. So that shit was crazy, like right in the middle of the building. Like, yo, after the argument, 50 kicked him out the room. It's crazy.
Wasn't ready?
But with Chris, like, I just felt like Fifth had like a little more respect for Chris.
I felt like what Chris Lighty and Violator did, as far as management goes.
Right, big.
You know,
huge impact.
Big up to
because you gotta remember, Violator was before 300. They was before Rock Nation.
Yeah.
They was before. Violator was before. And who did Chris have? Chris had you.
Yep.
He had Foxy.
Mobb Deep.
He had Mobb Deep.
Everybody.
He had Busta. He had K Slade.
LL.
He had Diddy at a point.
See, you know what's the crazy shit about that? I always used to say this.
Fat Joe too.
No, actually, Fat Joe was never signed to him. Fat Joe was signed to him as an artist, not as management.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, not as management. He was signed to Relativity.
To the label? No.
I believe Chris had something to do. I don't know if it was Violator Relativity, but I believe like Chris had points on the album or something through Relativity.
Right.
I think Joe was the only one that wasn't signed
to management.
Yeah, but you know what was crazy? And I'm sure you can relate to this. I remember going to Violator at one point, and I could roll dice there, get my hair cut, and buy weed.
Yeah,
like that shit was better than the hood. It was safe.
Yeah, definitely.
It was safe.
It was all good till Henchman moved down the block.
Oh yeah, that's right, 25th Street.
And that's what I always tell people. I be like a lot of beefs that you see.
Right.
It was me being loyal. It was inherited. You understand what I'm saying? Because till this day, I always say that. You know, the Henchman thing was inherited from Chris. Chris had the management on 25th Street. Henchman moved on the same block. Chris had everybody. Everybody wanted to be Chris. Like we said, Chris was the first 300. He was the first Rock Nation. The nigga was 18 working the tunnel, the most dangerous club in fucking New York. Niggas had to take their shoes off. No chains.
And use the bathroom with the girls in there.
Right. It's the era, you know.
Unisex bathroom.
This is what I'm trying to say. So look, to me, the poison was. It's always going to be some kind of poison when you get some kind of money. When we get somebody some kind of money, it's always going to be like. For me, it was one day. Henchman said he was like, "Yo, G Unit's here, and Game is here."
Right.
But Game had Dr. Dre and 50 Cent on his album.
Right.
And like I said in every interview, if we New York niggas blowing up with Cali niggas, what you think Cali niggas saying in the studio? We gotta blow a West Coast nigga up, cuz.
Right.
The West Coast, the best coast, cuz. Cause that's how they play out there.
Right.
And now LA's on a whole different time. You can't even enjoy yourself as much out there.